Okay, so let's talk about broadcast quality. So when we talk about broadcast quality, by right, it is the level of quality that the video stream is suitable to be included inside the normal TV broadcasting. So for most of us, is what you call the 1080p, the 1080p quality, or the 720p. P refers to the pixel. But for us, we are not really broadcasting on television. Instead, we are streaming on online platforms such as Microsoft Teams, like this one, we have Zoom. Okay. So in this case, we are talking more about broadcast quality in the sense that we want very crystal clear audio with no humming or feedback. Okay, which is very important for us because if the voice is not clear, there is no point having the lecture. So right now, what is important here, the whole point here, I think we have done this since March. 18th of March, that was the D-Day. Suddenly everybody has to start teaching online. And suddenly we realized that we did not have the necessary capacity to do this. In a way, for me, I'm lucky because my son was asked to work from home and he's testing games. So he told me, Baba, I need the biggest, fattest internet line that you got. And I said, okay, just tell me the Lazada link, I buy for you. So he gave me the link, I buy. And we upgraded our line to become the proper line. And suddenly we got the necessary the necessary speed for the internet for online teaching. So in a way, I'm lucky because I have my son who is trained in UKM. Thank you, FTSM lecturers, for training my son properly. And and I have a fantastic internet line at home. Okay, so what is the required thing? What is the required minimum thing for us to teach? Okay, I think the basic thing is a notebook, a proper recent notebook. I have an old one, an Asus, which I bought about 10 years ago. I tell you, it's horrible. I'm just glad that I got one under my grant, a new notebook, so which is quite a decent one. The thing is right now, sometimes we thought we can only teach if we have the notebook got camera. But for your information, any camera will do. Any camera. I don't know about you, but most of you got some small camera like this. The thing is, even your camera, your action cam, your Canon camera, your Nikon, every one of them can be used for streaming. Okay? So if you have them, you can just put it on a tripod, connect the necessary cables, and you can start teaching using the internet. So right now for me, that action camera, when I'm not using it for cycling, I'm putting it on my notebook for teaching purposes. Okay, for online platform, for us, it's not really an issue because we have Microsoft Teams. Fakulti Perubatan, we have Zoom. We have 20 Zoom licenses and we have the Zoom webinar. So every department is allocated a license for them to use for teaching. But most of us uses Teams because Teams is hassle-free. You can do it directly on your own. But of course, the key point here is internet. The key point here is internet. We have a stable internet connection. Okay, so I think the way to check it, you can go and test it for yourself online for free. The name of the link is easy, speedtest.net. Okay, so you just run the test for it, and they will tell you whether you got a good line or not. If you want to teach, always use for an internet line. Internet line, I know some of you call it a fixed line, most of us call it a LAN connection. But in UKM, the problem is that line is connected to the computer allocated by the university. And the computer allocated by the university, but for me, is a computer that came from the year 2003, running on Windows XP. No microphone, no camera. Okay, and you can imagine trying to teach online using that. So, and we have only one fixed line, and that IP address is already fixed to the computer. You cannot change. Okay, but you want to use it with your notebook. So, what to do? You can share that fixed line. I don't know whether you can see this or not. Okay, the word is tiny URL. Oops, let me move out. I'm blocking the word is share line UKM. The word is share line UKM. Don't worry, the link is coming out again. tinyurl.com, share line UKM. So you just go to that link, tinyurl.com, share line UKM. You will get the video on how to share the internet line. Okay, so this is my line at home. So you can see the speed is 522 megabit per second. My son keep emphasizing on it. Baba, it is megabit, not megabyte. Okay, the download line is 522 megabit per second. My upload speed is 107, which is okay. That's the best that Unify can give me. Please take note of this. The ping is only 6 millisecond. Okay, the best is around 5, so mine is 6, so I'm having quite a good line. So where to test? You just go to speedtest.net, you check, and you will find out how fast is your line. Okay. So since due to the current PKPB, all of us are stuck at home. I'm also stuck at home. Personally, I thought I'd be teaching today from my department, so I did not make any preparation. So you can imagine my shock and surprise when I realized I have to do it from home. Even Hashim can have to do it from home. Fahmi, Mike also have to do it from home. So luckily for me, I got a good line. So try to get the best line possible. For me, is the Unify 500. The Unify 500 is only 190 ringgit way back in 2018. But because my daughter wants to watch the K-pop, whatever, so I have to get the 240 ringgit one. So, as I mentioned just now, that speed is only available to you with the correct router and cables. So therefore, for the correct router, you have to fork out a bit of money at home. It's going to cost you about 300 ringgit. I also have a repeater right on my side, on the left side. So, even though the line is downstairs, the Wi-Fi is repeated through the repeater. And cables. My house, the cables from the router are all Cat 8. So it is the ultimate in terms of cables. Why? Because I found out on Lazada that thing is the same price like Cat 5. So I bought the Cat 8. As for Wi-Fi, if you are going to go for Wi-Fi at your home, why you go for the 300 ringgit router? Because they tend to have the dual band router. So the dual band router, they have the 2.4 gigahertz and the 5 gigahertz. Why? The 2.4 gigahertz can transmit at 50 megabits per second. The 5 gigahertz can transmit at 600 megabits per second. So which one is better? The 600 one is better. Okay, but they can only work when there is no obstruction and when there is no great distances. So means kalau it can only work in the same room. So for me, the 5 gigahertz can only work inside the living area. For some of you who are currently using the internet line for your phone, you can check. You'll be lucky to get 2 megabits per second. And we check with the UKM Wi-Fi, same speed, 2 megabits per second. So hopefully after the 31st of October, we will get a faster line that will be better than 2 megabits per second. Why is this important? Because for the Zoom, you need at least 600 kilobits per second. Okay, that one is the minimum, one-to-one at low resolution. But the minute you will have a group call, you need at least a 1.5 megabits per second line. If you want to transmit at 1080p, you need the 3 megabits per second line, minimum. Okay, and as mentioned just now, I just showed you just now the ping. Please take note, if you have the ping slower than what it's supposed to be, for me the ping is 6. If your ping is slower, your voice and your picture will not synchronize. Mulut cakap lain, gambar cakap lain. Okay, so please take note of that. That's why we need a fast line. So for LAN, it is usually between 5 to 20 milliseconds. Sorry, I also cannot see the words. But for Wi-Fi, it will be close to 30 milliseconds, and for handphone, it can reach up to 100 milliseconds. So it sucks. So my apologies for that. You try to get a fixed line. Okay, I know already. People are going to say, Doctor, how can you say like that? If you want us to get a good line, we have to pay. Wow, of course. So how to get the no budget solution? The no budget solution is to get PTM to supply another internet port to your room and allocate an IP address for your notebook. But of course, it's going to affect the PTM budget. Why? The cost to install one internet port inside your room is an average of 380 ringgit. Okay, so it's going to affect their budget. So of course, they're going to be quite fussy whether they want to share that budget with you or not. Okay, so please take note. Again, I shared the link, tinyurl.com, shareline UKM. How much it will cost you? If you buy Xiaomi 4C, it is only 40 ringgit. If you buy it from China, it's 39 ringgit. But it's going to take you about 2 weeks before that item arrive. Shopee, somebody told me it is available for 39 ringgit locally. So you can try that. Okay. Or if you think 39 ringgit is too much, you want it cheaper, you can search for the modem Mercusys. I know Mercusys ke Mercusys. It's 35 ringgit. Okay. Or can even cheaper up to 32 ringgit. Okay. So yes, you do have to go. If your PTM don't want to help you, you have to fork out 30 ringgit. But I mean, okay lah. It is until you pencen now you pakai. For your information, my router inside my room, I bought it about 5 years ago. And I'm still using it for now.